everyone, I am Vanessa Galicia. I am taking a Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management and I'm in my 4th year. So my role for this video is a hotel manager, and this will serve as orientation or training video for hotel staff regarding on safety measures or procedures, and it includes how to support energy conservation opportunities.
Welcome to the Blue Aerospace Hotel. Congratulations on your appointment, and thank you for choosing us to work with. On this first day of your orientation, we are going to discuss some of the rules for workplace safety inside the Blue Aerospace Hotel, the fire safety checklist, and how to support energy conservation opportunities.
So why safety in workplace important? A safe and healthy workplace not only protects workers from injury or illness, it can also lower injury or illness costs, reduce absenteeism and turnover, increase productivity and quality, and raise employee morale. So in other words, safety is good for business. And of course, plus protecting workers is the right thing to do.
Our first rule for personal safety is avoid placing yourself in a situation where you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, because sometimes there could be an increased risk to your personal safety and security. Location, environment, clients, and time are all relevant factors in your safety risk profile.
Number 2 rule for workplace harassment. A person may feel they are being harassed if the person is subjected to repeated harassment by another person that is unwelcome and unsolicited, and the person considers to be offensive, intimidating, humiliating, or threatening. You should first approach the other party and tell them to stop. If you are uncomfortable with this or nothing changes after this request, you have the right to lodge a complaint with your supervisor or the manager. All complaints of bullying or harassment will be treated seriously and action will be taken to ensure it stops. Our number 3 rule for our electrical safety. Electricity can kill if you give it the chance. So in the hotel industry, there are many types of electrical equipment that you may use. The glass washers, coffee machines, vacuum cleaners, and more. So the most common cause of electric shock is damaged electrical cords. Working in wet areas can also increase the risk of electric shock. So do not use any equipment if there are signs of damage to the power cord. Promptly report any damage to your supervisors for repairs. Manual handling in hotels. So manual handling is those tasks that require you to exert force to physically move an object, load, or body part. So this exertion can be seen as lifting, lowering, pushing, pulling, carrying, moving, holding, or restraining any object, animal, or person. So there is a multitude of tasks undertaken by employees in the hotel industry that meet this definition. So you should follow the good manual handling technique guide to minimize the possibility of injury. And lastly, as a hotel staff, you should know where the first aid kit and officer are. Med kits should always be on the wall to make it easier to see. Let's now move on the second part of this orientation. The 5 fire safety checklists for the workplace. So, why are fire safety measures important? Putting a fire prevention plan in place can significantly reduce the extent of damage that a fire can cause and help to avert one from breaking out in the first place. So the first thing in our checklist is the manual call point. So manual call point are usually connected to a center fire alarm panel, which is then connected to an alarm system in the building. Manual call points are used to initiate an alarm signal and operate by means of a simple button press or when glass is broken, revealing a button. The second thing in our checklist is fire extinguisher. There are different types of fire extinguisher. It is designed to tackle different types of fire, so it is important to get proper training as using the wrong type of extinguisher can be potentially dangerous. So you have to know what you are doing before you use. One of the most common extinguishers are water powder foam, carbon dioxide, and wet chemical. They are all relatively easy to use. When operating a fire extinguisher, tell residents or the guests to remember the word pass. Pull the pin, Hold the extinguisher with the nozzle pointing away from you and release the locking mechanism. Number 2. Aim low. Point the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Number 3. Squeeze the lever slowly and evenly. And lastly, sweep the nozzle from side to side. Number 3. Escape routes. We need to schedule regularly, walk around to ensure fire exits are free from clutter. This is vital in ensuring staff and guests have a free route to exit. Equally, ensuring our system maintenance contract includes emergency lighting will ensure escape routes are adequately lit in case of evacuation. These escape routes must be kept clear at all times to ensure that everyone can exit the workplace in the event of a fire or other emergency. Take care if placing notice boards in escape corridors, routes, as any paper on the board could be fuel in the event of a fire. Arrangements must be conveyed to all those occupying the workplace and particularly to personnel such as the fire wardens who will be assisting and overseeing any emergency evacuation. Number 4. Flammable liquid proper storage. So safely storing containers of flammable liquids is important to minimize the risk of fire and explosion. So we have produced guidance on how to store flammable liquids which are held in containers in a total quantity of less than 2,000 liters. These guidelines cover storing flammable liquids in containers in storage cabinets. And lastly, fire hose reel. Fire hose reel must be located adjacent to an internal fire hydrant, other than within a fire-isolated exit, except that a fire hose reel need not be located adjacent to every fire hydrant, provided system coverage can be achieved. Fire hose reel systems consist of pumps, pipes, water supply, and hose reels located strategically in the hotel, ensuring proper coverage of water to combat a fire. The system is manually operated and activated by opening a valve, enabling the water to flow into the hose that is typically 30 meters away. For the third part of this orientation, we are going to discuss the 5 symbols of danger or hazards in the workplace. Number 1 is the skull and crossbones. Substances such as the poisons and highly concentrated acids which have an immediate and severe toxic effect. The number 2 symbol is flame over circle. It identifies oxidizers. Oxidizers are chemicals that facilitate burning or make fires burn hotter and longer. Number 3, corrosion. Materials causing skin corrosions, burns, or eye damage contact or that are corrosive to metals.
Number 4, gas cylinder.
Gases stored under pressure such as ammonia or liquid nitrogen. And lastly, exclamation mark, an immediate skin, eye, or respiratory tract irritant or narcotic.
And finally, the last part of this video is how to support energy conservation opportunities. Number 1, we have the install thermostats.
We need to install thermostats. To ensure maximum energy conservation throughout our hotel, set the floor-to-floor, building-wide heat setting on auto control at all times. Use timer switches and thermostats to keep the energy consumption under control, night and day. Inspect the setup periodically to ensure that the thermostats are not compromised by drafts or sunlight. Also, check to make sure the fireplaces and radiators do not impact the thermostat setting. 2. Switch to LED lights. In recent years, building owners have cut energy costs by installing light-emitting diode or the LED fixtures, which consume far less energy than traditional incandescent bulbs or even fluorescent lights. LED lights can last up to 8 times longer than incandescents, making LEDs a worthwhile investment despite the higher upfront costs. LED lights also produces less heat, making them less of a drain on your cooling system. Alternately, if you use fluorescent tubes in your hotel, replace them with compact fluorescent to save energy. And lastly, consider solar panel technology. With today's advanced technology, one of the base sources of energy comes from the sun. When buildings equip their roofs with solar panels, they can maximize natural energy on days with clear skies and even sell excess solar energy back into the power grid. If you have a solar panel installed on top of your hotel, you could seriously reduce your hotel's energy consumption. So that's the end of this discussion. Once again, I am Vanessa Galicia. I am taking up Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management and I'm in my 4th year. Thank you for watching.